What's up, guys? It's Krista from Criss.MissWreaths, and I'm here by popular request to dissect this guy in a brief tutorial. I didn't think this one was going to get that much love, honestly. I do know that there's a huge Stranger Things fan base, but I don't know. You never know what to expect on this app. But I thank you guys so much for the interest and all the love and the sweet comments, the desire to want to purchase one of these, even though I couldn't make a buck off of it. You gotta be safe out here in the business world. But in regards to that, this is my busy season, so like I'm making a bunch of holiday custom orders, so I actually don't have time to make a whole nother one and show you piece by piece. But I can dissect each piece and let you know how each piece was made, where I got each piece from, the base, all of that I can show you. I pull it apart and do it over, but like I said, I don't have the time this time of year, and it's all hot glued, so it's really not possible. But all right, let's get into the tutorial, and I will dissect this guy for you guys to the best of my ability. Okay, so I got him on the easel, and let's see if I can get you guys ready for season 5. Let's talk real quick about the details on the wreath. As far as bows, you kind of got to know how to make a bow. I have a tutorial on my page under the DIYs tab. If you go there, I have an in-depth tutorial on how to make bows like this. So hit that up when you finish this video if you want to learn how to make the bows. Now this sign I got on Amazon. It came in a box like this, and it has 2 light modes, as you saw when I turned the light on and off. There's a button here. The problem is, when I went back and looked, these are unavailable on Amazon. Of course, they always do that. However, there are several of them available on eBay, between like $15 and $25. These 2 signs I made with the Cricut machine, or Cricut, however you guys say it. I say Cricut. So if you don't have a Cricut machine, you can get one of these wood signs, and it's kind of like, it's almost like dry board under there. You can get one of these from Michael's, and then this thin wood you can get from any of the craft stores as well, but I got mine from Amazon. And this font is like real, sort of like messy, so you don't really need a Cricut for that. I'm just like a perfectionist, so I didn't feel like, hand writing it, messing it, I don't know, I'm just really weird. So I wanted that to be exactly how I saw it on the image, so I used the Cricut machine for that. But you can hand draw this probably like with a Sharpie or a marker. Pencil it first and go over it if you want. Very simple. And again, this was made with the Cricut, so if you want to do it by hand, or if you want to get like the stickers that they sell, like the letter stickers, that's fine too. Do whatever works for you. This guy is a top from this. I had to pull it off. These are from Five Below. So if you have a Five Below near you, you can get it from there. And yeah, I was over there snacking on these. It comes with some gummies inside. So I ate those. This cassette and headphone, they were separate, also on Amazon. Those are still available there. And then I had used a piece of vinyl, and I hand wrote that, as you can see. It gave it a vintage feel, like the 80s. But you can put anything, a little sticker label thing. They sell those things in all the craft stores, Walmart, and write on it. So simple. This was from Target. I know Target has a section out right now for just full-blown Stranger Things, and these come with like a toy, so you get a little extra things out of this stuff. It came with a toy and a few other little cool little things that were inside. This Demogorgon guy came with a Steve. I didn't put Steve on here because I thought it was giving like too much color, maybe too child's play, so I didn't put Steve on. I kept them for my own fun. But those I got on Amazon as well. If you guys want the links, just send me a message and I will I can send you the links. The lights I also bought on Amazon. Let me show you guys how you kind of put things on now. You're going to need a base like this. This is a 24-inch pine. These are from Hobby Lobby. They're half off, so this was $7. You can find these in any craft store, Walmart, These ones are better though, the Hobby Lobbies, because they're double wired, so they're stronger. So you're going to start with one of these, and you're going to mesh it up. Mesh it up! You're going to grab a 21-inch mesh and a 10-inch mesh. Any of the craft stores, I think Walmart even sells these. So the first thing I did here was squish this wreath base into an oval shape. This is going to minimize that whole space in the middle so your details adhere better. Now I'm applying the 21-inch mesh, and I'm doing what's called a bubble method. And it's basically just making small bubbles and tying them in with the branches from the pine base. I always start with the inner layer, so I bubble all the way around, and then I go to the outer layer. Cut it loose when you're done, and then grab that 10-inch mesh. So I stopped measuring mesh years ago. Nobody's going to see it. And the wreath design's getting ready to take you a couple hours already. So take the shortcut, eyeball it, about 14 inches, guys. This part is easy. Roll both ends, make a little bow looking thingy, and then fill in them gaps. And when you're done, you should have a nice full canvas to work on like this. And so after you get your wreath entirely meshed up, It really just comes down to glue. You play sort of Tetris in your placement. I laid everything out before I glued everything down. Be careful, because when you start hot gluing things down, if you melt this, you're done for with the lights. Your lights are done for. So my suggestion is to glue everything first and then go around with your lights. I did glue the sign down, but in the back, I made sure I didn't glue the battery section so that I can go in and change out the batteries when the sign dies. When I say glue, I mean, you're going to get your hot glue. This is the best. You're going to need a good hot glue gun on high temp. Normally, if I was going to sell my wreaths, I'd have cut this off already. But this is just the bow from the top. So that is securing down here, tied to the wire. That's how you get the bow on. I don't glue the bows on. And there's not really a method. Like I said, I figured out a place where I wanted each item and I glued it down. So you do that first. And it's really just hot glue. You kind of want to be careful. Like I put a little dab here. You don't want it to look messy. I believe I got these florals from Hobby Lobby as well. But you can really customize this however you want. If you want a different color florals, I didn't want pretty florals, you know, needed to look a little spooky. So I made sure I grabbed things that were, you know, not so pretty, so to speak. But yeah, all this stuff is glued in, glued on, glued on. Signs are glued on. When it comes to the lights, all I did really was string them throughout. None of the lights are glued on. Like I said, if you melt this, you're done for. I just strung them around the whole wreath, and you can see it there. This is where the battery pack is. And I snuck that in there and kind of like held it down with the string of the lights. That's throughout, you see. The goal was to just get some of it in front of the alphabet wall, because that was the main detail from Stranger Things. You just have to be very careful with your glue. Make sure you position things neatly, because if you just slap it on, it will look messy. So take your time. To be perfectly honest with you guys, this was like a 2 to 3 hour job. And that's me, a 4-year in wreath designer. So guys, do your best. If you do end up making one of these, please tag me. It would be an honor to see them. If you have any questions, hit my messages. I can help. We're pumped and ready for Stranger Things Season 5. It's the end. It's going to be epic. So I hope this helped, and I'll see you guys in the Upside Down.